What is this? Okay, good. It looks like I just milked nothing. I should probably not do that in town. Just like jack off in the town square. Hey, how's it going? Whoa, whoa. What the fuck is this? Got him! I've just been drifting around, being led by circumstances. No, that's not right. In Ave, you helped Bart when he needed it. I can't keep a fucking straight face, this awful writing. Drifting, kind of like me. Holy shit. Oh no! Oh, we're not quite dead yet. Don't worry though, I have a telescope equipped. The sprite tells me it's a lady, but the face tells me it's a man. Do that Dr. Girlfriend voice. Yesterday my stove caught on fire. I thought the whole house was gonna burn down. You there, ugly kid. Every kid is ugly.
What? These aren't special in any way. There goes the potion! Oh!
It's a perfect fit. Oh! Ooh! Well, that's gonna be a problem. 24 people have died. We might not finish the campaign now. Oops. I never equipped the chainsaw. I never equipped the chainsaw! Oh my god. I didn't stab that man with a chainsaw. I just made chainsaw noises as I hit him with an axe. Holy fuck, I'm an idiot. Oh, he'll have the key for sure. Police! Nobody move! Like I kicked his knee bone or something.
Are you blind? What in God's... I mean, better luck next time.
Armor broken, what the fuck? Just kicked that boar and my clothes exploded. Arcanum.
Damn it. Stop. You totally fucked it up.
Well, you fucked me, dog. We're not getting in now. You blew it, old man. Holy shit, you blew it. Wow, and it's just his face. Oh. No! I can't take you seriously when your planet's called Choco. Welcome to Choco, keep your nose clean. Is your planet named after candy?
Spell shit in hindsight. That went pretty good. The hell is this? It says the sacrifice of fire is the gate to ruin. Place torch if you crave the void. Okay.
Terrors may indeed stalk these shadows, but yonder, a glint of gold.
I fucked that up. A whole bunch.
Hi there. Bit of a late start today with some oddly dope tunes on the title screen for Pathologic, which I think Bane asked for this one. It still seems kind of loud, but I think this might be one of those games where I'm like, let's turn it down, then we go into the game and everything else is whisper quiet. I think our audio levels might be okay here. Anyways. We're playing a game called Pathologic. I played this game for about 45 seconds when I realized the chat could just be a black box, so that was easy. We're going in pretty blind. Something about the plague, it's very important we don't get the plague, I believe. Let's hop in.
So, it's all about trickery to you? Wherever have you come from?
No. I detest trickery. But if we ourselves are to suffer deception, our hands are no longer tied. Where are we?
Well, the muscular contraction is there. Means you're already inside of him. This must be one of the ventricles, right here.
What a silly place. It's stuffed. So it's not real for now? I don't think it has started yet.
Does it matter what it's made of? It's definitely struggling. We need to perform Sectio Transversalis. Cut the wall. There's no other way out. What else is there to do?
I know what to do. Those who favor hard logic and direct action are bound to be misguided. Only a miracle can set us free without us having to destroy something. And I can do miracles. Just let me.
Will you please be quiet? You're a liar and a thief. Who is going to believe you when you keep lying to yourself? The truth is my shepherd. Whatever happens, I will find answers, and justice will be restored. I will perform the operation. Medica morbo adhibe.
Don't you go all bossy on me, clever clogs. You will act justly, but your justice will blind you and become his demise. This calls for the gentle hand of a surgeon. Step aside, both of you.
Your gentle hands are used to killing, not giving life. You will inevitably do harm. As for Brainy, he has no regard for casualties at all. Neither of you knows compassion.
Yes, it seems unlikely that we'll get along well, but there's only one truth.
Any choice is right as long as it's willed. That's the truth of the matter.
Only the heart will show you the right choice. Stop thinking about yourselves. Think of the sick. He's in pain. I can't see it yet, but I can feel it.
It's not even a trap. It's a grave. Subipsum funis sumus. Can't say I hold a soft spot for it.
I can see that. You're full of hate. Stuffed or not, it's breathing. I can hear it. It can be healed rather than killed.
You mean you won't become a killer? But you will. Mark my word, that's exactly what will happen. But I can avoid it.
No, we won't ever get along. I suggest we be on our way. The sooner the better.
Off we go then?
Let's go. The clock is ticking.
Alright, well, that was a thing. I don't know what the controls are. I'm gonna say this is an E kind of game, but... Forward use is E, jump is space, torch is F, plague finder is V. Find the plague. Attack is left. Alt is right. Show or hide my hands is tab, so that'd be like ready weapon. Left shift to sneak. R to reload. Inventory, I, map, M, diary, Q for let's take a quick look at our diary. L is for letters, which are different. My character status is P for pretty sure this is the button for my character status. List of the bound for T. Wait, what is this? It's X to holster my weapon, but it's tab to show my hands. And then quick save, quick load. Those are our under rails MVPs. Okay. The Changeling. She's locked. Until I beat somebody else. The Haruspecs. How do they call upon the Menku, the faithful of a warden kin? Known by their hands, for they are butchers. Known by their eyes, for they are surgeons. They who follow the lines. They who are the leaders of the kin. They who speak to Urders. They who know the secret art of horsemanship. What is a Haruspex? Reading the future in the entrails, he knows that a body bears semblance to the universe. His scalpel follows the lines of the body. His steps follow the lines of his kin's fortune. A Haruspex can tell a true line from a false one as entrusted with power. A Haruspex who is confused by his path gets buried into the deep black flesh of the earth. This is the story of a person who has avoided the contradiction, eager to rip a doomed life apart, masterfully fulfilling his true purpose in the process. But I'm going to assume this is who we play if we don't know what the fuck we're doing. The Bachelor. The history of humanity witnessed a number of catastrophes that have demonstrated without a shadow of a doubt the pettiness of human achievement and the triumph of the invincible evil. Outbreaks of infectious diseases that have from time to time wiped towns and cities off the map are undoubtedly among these. However smart and virtuous, the people caught up in these destructive events have repeatedly come to the conclusion that it's no use trying to fight these circumstances. The best you can do is bite the bullet and cope with your losses. This is the story of a person who has managed to work a miracle and defeat a seemingly unvanquishable foe.
Daniil Dankovsky, a bachelor of medicine, was brought here by circumstances most unfortunate. Dankovsky's life work, his theory challenging the existing notions of human mortality, is being harshly persecuted by the powers that be. Suddenly, a letter arrives from a colleague suggesting that there is previous undiscovered evidence which may support Dankovsky's claims. There is a settlement, the letter says, ruled by an extraordinary man who may well be seen as objective proof of Dankovsky's daring hypothesis. Grasping at straws of hope, Dankovsky decides to follow what he believes to be the sign of divine providence. Without further ado, he sets off for the settlement. Late at night, Bachelor arrives in the town. As he seeks room and board, he gets to know a girl called Eva Yan and stays at her place till dawn.
Some interesting characters in this town, I'm sure. As of today, my mission remains obscure. The examination of Simon Kane, who's rumored to be a man of incredible longevity, may shake the very foundation of modern thanatology and challenge the existent notions of death itself. However, Even if this undying Leviathan proves to be more than a fairy tale, the mere confirmation of his existence won't suffice to prevent the powers that be from shutting a laboratory down. I need to figure out the most fruitful approach. Simon is a well-respected man, and if he mistakes my interest for effrontery, it'd be nigh impossible to convince him to help me break new ground in the field of human vitality. Today's quest? I don't know. Other tasks? I don't know. Day 1, by the end of which the Bachelor finds himself battling a truly unvanquishable foe. Let's start off with a quick save. A little dark. Oh. A microscope? I don't have anything to microscope. Weapons. Clothes. Scalpel. A large cartilage scalpel can be used as a close combat weapon, not very easy to handle, but very effective due to its sharpness. Deals the most damage when attacking from the front. Frequent use causes it to dull quickly. If I have to fight people, I suppose. Protective gloves. Light gloves made of synthetic material that serves as a good repellent, protects the hands from contact with infected surfaces, and moderately against burns and grazing stabs. Drugs, because I'm a doctor. Here we go. Miradorm. A painkiller rather than a sleeping drug. Restores a small amount of health, good for restoring strength during sleep. Miradorm has a strong sedative effect and induces sleep even during excruciating pain, for 5 hours. Some sleepy juice. Morphine, here we go. A universal opiate painkiller has a strong analgesic and sedative effect. Used for heavy injuries, acute pain, and in preparation for surgery. Reduces fatigue and increases health from sleeping for 10 hours. Alpha tablets, an outdated immunity booster, only useful in very large doses that cause serious health damage. Oh, a tourniquet. A rubber tourniquet facilitates health recovery after traumatic injury, stops bleeding, and immobilizes damaged tissue. For my food, I have a bottle of spring water from one of the hidden springs, the Cathedral Stone Spring, the Spinayarn Square Well, or the Sugag Kadug Spring on the boundary between the steppe and the rotten field. The water from the latter used to be sacred, but the locals are wary about drinking it due to its proximity to burial grounds. And for other, I have some kerosene for some reason. It's for my lamp. And then it was tab to show my hands. Ah. Dr. Punch. We don't want to sleep. My health's looking good. My immunity is at 50%. So hunger, exhaustion, infection growth. We don't want to get infected ever. To the point that I'll probably load our save. Because I don't know what I'm doing. Alright, well, I didn't find any treasure. We have to go meet this man. What was his name? Let's have a look at our letters. Here we go. Isidore Burak's message. My dear Bachelor Dankovsky, it was most disconcerting to learn the powers that be have the intention of shutting down the laboratory that owes its fame largely to your own research in the field of thanatology. Is it true that your detractors have branded your your studies scientifically stillborn? Rejoice, Bachelor, for there is an observable case that would quell the obscurants that reject the research of death, aging, and necrosis as a subject that lacks academic viability. This case, were you to document it, would go a long way towards restoring your reputation as a scholar. The subject in question is Simon Kane, who has ruled the town where I live for as long as I can remember. This man's longevity transcends the boundaries of what is plausible. It is phenomenal, no less, and I struggle to give an explanation of it with what scientific means I have at my disposal. Make no delay. There is a sensational discovery to be made here, a breakthrough that will not only save your laboratory, but also revivify your studies and greatly increase your scientific renown. Your humble servant and faithful colleague, Isidore Burak. Yes, I spoke to Simon on your behalf, and he has kindly agreed to facilitate your effort. Daring ideas and far-fetched projects are traditionally very well respected in our neck of the woods. So Simon will talk to us. Okay. Oh man, you do not want to fucking take those stairs when you're drunk. Hello? Oh, right. It implied that I just banged some random woman from the bar while I was waiting for them to clean my hotel room. Is this what I think it is? No, it's a decanter. Why, that was maybe a hookah pipe, and we would sit on large pillows and have a puff.
We sometimes differ more widely from ourselves than we do from others. I had a feeling you would come.
Did the sounds from the outside wake you up too? There was a terrible groan, and then something snapped loudly. I fell asleep so quickly I didn't even notice. It's like I fainted. What were you talking about? I think there are strangers in the backyard by the pond. They're unlikely to be planning mischief, but I have a bad feeling about this. I'm afraid to go out to them. I hope they go away soon and stop disturbing our sleep. Why do you think they aren't planning anything foul? Our population is so thin. Crime is basically non-existent, especially here in the Stone Yard. Sometimes there are pranks, of course. Fights happen occasionally. People are young here, so they often go out at night, but we're a tight community. And now I hear unfamiliar speech. That's not a good sound. I'll go check it out, babe. Are you willing to trade the company of a fascinated woman for that of a dreadful old man, even if he's a sorcerer? That's so sad. But Simon won't go anywhere. He is. He has always been. He always will be. Even if the moon were to fall to the ground. Please stay with me a little while longer. He's a wizard? Are you in that much of a hurry? Do come round. The Canes are asleep now. Take your knockabout coat off. Have a rest in my bed. Let me warm your hands. You're so anxious to see Simon, as though your life depended on it. My life, yes. Now that my laboratory is on the brink of destruction, my whole life's pursuit depends on that remarkable man. If he has really managed to live that long, then his tissues will help me defeat death. Death? So that's the enemy you've chosen for yourself. Isn't it hard? I don't think anyone's managed to defeat that evil yet. Millions of doctors defeated it on certain singular occasions, but my enemy is even more fearsome. It is death itself, rather than a singular case of them. I don't understand. Show me where he lives. It's not far. The Canes live at the Crucible on Bridge Square. But could I please offer you a piece of advice? Go on. Simon has two younger brothers. The eldest of the two, Georgie, is called the Judge by the locals. Visit him first. He isn't asleep. He'll teach you how to speak with Simon. The youngest of the three is Victor. His daughter, Maria, also wanted to see you. It's probably important. Was it she who knew about my arrival beforehand? Yes, she told me about it privately. Talking to her is no simple task. Maria's that kind of person. She puts on airs, but that's just how the Canes are. It was Maria who told me that she would help you defeat death. That's the precise wording. What a coincidence. All right, thank you for the advice. Go, and I'll prepare everything for your return. Do come back after you speak to the Canes. They will probably do a lot of things that will puzzle you and put you on guard. I'll have some advice that may be of help to you, if you need it. Okay, I'll come back. I may be here? Yes, this mansion called the Stillwater belongs to a single girl named Eva Yan. An accidental midnight encounter provided me with a lovely companion and temporary lodging. The sex was great, but also a bed. And then it's just right down the street. The mysterious Maria, Victor Kane's daughter, has been expecting my arrival for several days. She seems to know more about me than I do. Maybe she can tell me why I love the taste of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Simon Kane, the man of improper longevity, is waiting for me here. I hope he sympathizes with my request. I only need living evidence of the impossible. The Crucible. Holy shit. The Abattoir. First block. Oh my god. What have I got myself into? The railway station. The machine. Good lord. Town theater. Anyways, I'll be going now. You have fun with your weird Morrowind-esque prostitute clothes. How interesting that I unpacked my microscope up there. Hello? Venerable Bachelor? Please be so kind as to linger for a minute. This conversation won't take too much of your time, especially since time stops during dialogues, at least during the important ones. And our dialogue is extremely important. You need to know how to play after all, don't you? Play? What are you talking about, Masked Man? I am neither a gambler nor an actor. Of course you aren't. You're a living, breathing man, as is evident from your conditions and statuses. You experience hunger, thirst, and fatigue. You suffer from pain, wounds, and diseases. You're so lifelike. You'll have to eat, drink, sleep, and rest, and make mistakes. The latter being the most definitive proof of my human nature, wouldn't you agree? If I may, I would like to point out just how important it is to keep an eye on your condition. If you get dizzy or unnaturally sluggish, do have it checked up. Vital processes tend to run faster during emergencies than in everyday life. I knew a person who died of stress but was diagnosed with starvation. I can testify to that as a doctor. Need I remind a wise man like you of the fact that hunger is satisfied with food, food can be found in shops, and shops can be found in ordinary houses that are marked with specific signs. Sleep, however, is more complicated. People only sleep in beds, and only in private residences around here. I'm sorry, but that's just how our world is. Okay. And quite silly, if you forgive me for saying so. Speaking of commerce, different shops sell similar items at different prices. Make sure you don't get cheated. People can be quite brazen around here. You can also barter with the folk out in the street. Some things may be nothing more than trinkets to you, but others would be willing to part with their life's blood for them. What? Yes, blood. It's not my place to lecture you, but if, following your Hippocratic oath, you even consider easing someone's pain, feel free to just approach them with a suitable drug. You'll see their pain receding before your very eyes. The sick fall asleep when they're close to recovery, don't they? Or when they're close to their ultimate rest. Still, helping the hopeless will grant you a good reputation. You'll be seen as a benefactor willing to part with a precious sleeping draught or painkiller for a simple bystander. Anything else? No, not yet. Can you show me the way to Simon's house? Turn left now, then walk along the alley. You'll see a cathedral and 3 mansions across Bridge Square. Simon lives in the one that's the closest to the river. Thank you. Was there anyone else? What the fuck is this? This is a person. Halt! I'm going to have to teach you about the technicalities of the setting. The time and the place. It's not essential, but that's just how it is. The actor has to be prepared before he goes on stage, or else he'll fall down the aisle or stumble upon the prompt box. That would look mighty silly, wouldn't you agree? What? An actor in a tragic mime show? That's unimportant. Will you listen to me? Okay. Time flies by. It can't be stopped or turned back. Nights follow days, which are then followed by nights. Things happen without any regard for whether you're there to witness them. Don't expect anyone to wait for you. Most events can be missed. And so? And so it would make sense for you to visit the places that you care about regularly. You'll find the people that will play major roles in your fate there. They stand out from the common folk. The rest are just a crowd shot, a background, a bunch of extras, as it's always been. Indeed. Still, it's best to avoid hasty judgment. It's a paradox, you see. Don't try to care too much for the lives of these bound-to-stand-out people. And don't be too dismissive of the silent crowd. Both extremes will end in tragedy. Why is that? This world cares for your reputation. A fine and crucial instrument. Your reputation changes the world you see, for it is a mirror. Wouldn't you agree? And so a bad reputation can get you in a lot of trouble. For example, oh, need I describe? You've got a vivid imagination. Everything changes, from mystical aspects to mundane things, like the people you need treating you badly, how many enemies you've got, how high the prices rise, how bad your dreams are. Lots of things. Sorry, prospect. How do I maintain my reputation? Really? How's that even a question? Same as anywhere. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not lie, thou shalt not betray, do not steal, do not covet, don't be an asshole. Do not get caught. The rules are the same everywhere. A truly selfless deed, like risking something for thy neighbor, or even a person who lives quite far away, can help in a dire situation. Good for you, then. As for me, I can't see anything in this mask. I have no idea what's going on. Anyway, don't get too worked up about human lives, and don't put too much stock in another's words, mine included. He who trusts everyone is asking to be deceived. Yet he who trusts no one is deluded. Okay, see. I thought you were like a mailbox or something. That's probably fine. Not the roomiest. Well, actually, it's a very roomy lot. It's just kind of weird. Hello? Yard hobos? The worm feels sick. Head packed. Blood boiling. Belly freezing. Let the worm warm up. Let him take a rest. Don't touch us. We're dangerous. You're quite smelly. What do you want? This ain't your business. What is this creature? An odong, duh. That's what all them cattle breeders look like, crude and unshapely and unfinished, don't you know? Wherever you came from, an intruder, huh? I'm a visitor in this town. Who would have thought it's home to such creatures? Okay. Oh, don't fall in. It's almost 7 a.m. Turn left. Whoops. Let's hang on some flagstone. So it's the courtyard with the 3 houses. Was there not a run button? Although I guess I might exhaust myself if I run. Sneak, reload. Nope, I'm at maximum speed. Okay. 7 bells and all's well. Ooh. Regular houses with signs, so this is like a doctor's shop. No time for that, though. We're going to the Crucible. That's Simon Kane's brother. We want the one in the bag. Huh, that's probably fine. Wooden sword? Definitely cozy in here. Hello?
I'm feverish. What can it be?
You resemble an adventurer more than a doctor. How do you know me? I saw you in a dream. Don't flatter yourself. My desires have nothing to do with that. I simply saw you take us all by the throat. What else did you see in that dream? I'll tell you, and I think I can trust you. I hope that happens soon.
I'm feverish. What can it be?
What is this? I have a lot to tell you, Bachelor Dankovsky, but I dare not until you meet my Uncle Georgie. Otherwise, he'll rip my tongue out for disclosing a secret. I'm looking for Simon. I know, but you'll have to speak to Georgie instead. They're twins, so you won't be disappointed. Where can I find him? Close at hand, just next door. Go to the wing that's closer to the river. Its roof is shaped like a crown. What's going on with this dress? Well, don't present them. It's weird. Closest to the river. Roof looks like a crown, as opposed to... the other roof. They all share a courtyard, but the layout's a little weird, so this must be the brother, Georgie. Wait. That's Simon Kane. Victor Kane. Wait, what? Did I misread that? Does Georgie live with Simon Kane? Because that's... the roof resembles a crown. They all do. Do a quick save here in case I anger him and he fucking takes out a revolver. Get out of my office.
The town will meet its death at the hand of Simon's murderer. That much is certain.
Most venerable doctor, it's with great impatience that we've been expecting you. You need not delve into the minutiae of your business with us, since our family is well acquainted with your scholarly work. We're also quite aware of the difficulties you were experiencing, and well prepared to do our utmost to support you. It hurts me all the more to be the one to inform you that Simon My consanguineous brother, the creator, keeper, and embodiment of all that surrounds us, has been murdered. Why did that have to happen just before I arrived? Why did it have to happen just before your arrival? Are you asking yourself the same question? I hope you don't see any connection between my arrival and the murder. In fact, I do see a connection. However, do not mistake it for a thought that it was you who murdered him. What do you know? My brother was murdered last night under the strangest of circumstances. But for all the mystery surrounding his death, I'd rather eschew the notion that his departure was connected with whoever had visited Simon that evening. The visitor is a man of laudable rectitude and an old friend of our family. There are witnesses to testify that he and Simon did nothing but converse. Who is the visitor? Someone you know quite well. The man whom my brother saw last night was your colleague, Isidore Burak. Was he not the very person who advised you to come here as well? Yes. Isidore has done more than he thinks. I have a lingering feeling that time itself is using uncontestable powers to further its own intentions. What do you think? I'm no fatalist. It could be that my mind is clouded by sorrow, but I cannot escape the feeling that your arrival was no coincidence. Your choice was made for you, my dear doctor. Let us not blame fate for it. Isidore wrote to you without making us aware. He took a risk that could have displeased our family. Really? Even though we were uncertain of when you would arrive, my brother was looking forward to meeting you. The tragedy may have been a consequence of the actions he took in preparation for your arrival. Someone has taken a powerful piece from the chessboard, a piece upon which your position here depended. It is doubly regrettable that Simon was playing on your side. I'm not buying into your chess euphemism. Is there anything I can do to help? Do you want to help us, Doctor? Find the murderer for us. My brother Victor, who is in the wing next door, would share some of his thoughts on the matter. Help us, and the reward will not disappoint you. It seems there are too many coincidences. Your brother's murder may just as well be called the murder of Bachelor Donkovsky. I'm convinced that if there's anyone at all that can help us solve this puzzle, then it is you. This mission calls for someone as astute and inventive as yourself. If Isidore was an instrument of fate, then Simon's murder is a message that fate intended for you personally. Do not think I'm inclined to blame you for that. I'm not. How do you plan to look for the murderer? We'll take our own measures. The only thing I expect from you is to be yourself. Do only what you think is required, whatever you find out. Whatever you do, whatever your day turns into, everything is a clue to the solution of this puzzle. I repeat, everything that is happening here is happening on your account. I'm fine with this course of action. And then we have to go see the brother over there. That's Victor. I also know nothing about this one. We are completely blind on this. Let me talk to him later. Oh, it's an upside-down man. That's weird. Ah, from the video.
It's like something is pulling my strings.
The famous Dr. Dankovsky, your arrival is a great honor for us. Victor Kane at your service. Daniil Dankovsky. I foresee that the things that have become ordinary for us will probably make you feel uncomfortable and disturbed. I'd like to compensate for that impression. You know, our small community has fallen into the loop. Time leaves us behind. What do you mean? I mean the traditions. Games that we play with passion will most likely be of no interest to you. The people you meet here may seem eccentric, naive, or even somewhat deranged. Take it easy on us, and don't judge us too strictly. I hope that we'll be able to work in the atmosphere of mutual trust.
I fear that Simon's death is a symbolic event.
Georgie has told me everything, which is to say he told me very little, but was enough to astound me. He maintains that you can provide a more detailed account. So you've agreed to help us? I have. May I ask why? I do not like having so little information. We share a tragedy. I want to exact revenge upon the one that robbed me and my work of a future. I'm prepared to answer any questions you may have. When was he last seen? He sent Isidore home. Then an hour later, he came to this hall to see us. He announced his plans to withdraw to the Focus and receive no one. He told us not to approach the Focus and to fast for a week, partaking of neither meat nor water. Then in the morning he was found dead. Why no meat or water? Our explanation is that he wanted to be mourned beforehand, as is the custom with the local people. This is very like him. He knew he was going to die? I think between me and you, that's precisely what my brother Georgie fears. I can say nothing more about that. How was the body discovered? The servants discovered him in the morning. The room had been ransacked. Everything that was breakable had been broken. His disfigured, contorted body bore signs of terrible suffering. His neck was twisted, his spine broken, I think. No one has touched the body. It's currently inside the Focus, and will remain there for the prescribed amount of time. What's this Focus? It's hard to explain. It's his study, if you will. An extraordinarily spacious creative laboratory, almost perfectly sealed off, except for the door that was visible at all times. Metaphorically speaking, I don't understand. It's like an equation, or a mirror puzzle. Anyway, the murderer could not have been hiding there. Take my word for it. Well, Simon got there somehow. He could perform far more impressive feats. There's a reason why the whole town revered him. Is Simon fucking real? Bravo, Doctor. That is indeed a spark of genius to you. Alas, yes. Yes, he did, alas. It's not that I would benefit from his death, alas, for that would be too simple an explanation. Simon well and truly did exist. That's exactly what's left everyone in disarray. It was so hard for them to accept his existence that the thought of his demise is now driving them mad. Wouldn't you all benefit from his death? His death is a challenge to our continued existence. We're neither insane nor suicidal. Who do you suspect? Just take a look around. Trust your intuition. Do whatever you like. Speak to whoever you feel the need to. Look for the murderer, Doctor, and you'll find them. Keep looking till the last breath. I'm sure your rational thinking will help you. Isidore's the only lead. How can I find him? I'll show you, but you must be careful. Simon's murderer, whoever they are, could not be an ordinary person. I can't imagine there even being a person. I fear it can only be fate, wearing the guise of a mysterious monster. Well, be careful. This is where Isidore Bruca lives. The man had brought me to this remote place. He is the last person who saw Simon Kane alive. So we want to... Where the fuck am I now? Oh my god. So we're here. Take the bridge. This bridge here. It's going to be quite the jaunt. Alright. And I think I was supposed to go kiss that lady of the night when I passed by. We'll go see her. Since it's on the way. Hello, sir? Man, anything I can do for you? The warehouses is a district? I'd be much obliged if you could help me learn to get around your town. There's more than one town here. The first one is called the Bull Project. The second one, the offspring of the project, is the districts. I mean the residential part itself. Not so long ago, the town also dropped anchor across the river, but I wouldn't go so far as to call that part of District 2. It's just a polyhedron. A peculiar way to call it the town itself. Well, it just sort of came to be that way. The Gullet and the Guzzle, the Gorkon's tributaries, divide the town into 3 parts. Each of them consists of many separate courtyards, so maybe that's the reason. And what are those parts? The lower part, adjacent to the abattoir, is called Earth. The one between the Gullet and the Guzzle we call the Knots, and the triangular promontory between the Guzzle and Grokon is the Stone Yard. It's intricate. The Stone Yard consists of 2 districts, Bridge Square and the Atrium. We're in Bridge Square right now. Plus the Mistress's Tombs, of course. Earth has 4 residential districts, the Skinners, the Tanners, the Hindquarters, and Crude Sprawl. In the middle... Something wrong? I'm just not sure you need any of this. The Knots have 7 districts. The spleen, the marrow, the chin, the backbone, the mouth, the flank, and the gut. I don't suppose I need to go into further detail. Surely the Canes will show you around. They're expecting you after all. Much obliged. I'll see her first. And then how much money do I have? $1,400 user to maybe buy some morphine. Well, you look healthy. What do you got there? He's got his own gloves. His own tourniquet, his own kerosene. Or actually, wait, maybe this is my shit. Yeah, because I only have one of each, right? And then he's got a bunch of tourniquets. 165. I'll buy that. What do you want for tourniquet? Man, a rubber tourniquet is worth as much as a bottle of Maradorn. Okay. Good talk. Good talk, my man. Draw distance is a little strange. Considering it's a remaster of sorts. Oh well. Hello again.
What?
That ominous singing outside the window is gnawing at me. We could be singing at a time like this. Very little time has passed, but I feel hungry and exhausted again. Since you've decided to fight death, you'll have to be very careful. It's September. We'll be dying with every breath of our air. What am I supposed to do, not breathe your air? Should I have stocked up on the air from the capital? You got me wrong. You'll be dying here much faster than in the capital. Your body is wasting away just as fast as a boat sinks when it's hold full of water. Breathe in this air. Can you feel it? Why? The steppe is full of various herbs. They fill the air with dizzying vapors. White whip, tire, and swevery are dangerous in August and September when herbs surrender their juices to the sun. People tend to get headaches this time of year. Heart sufferers lie in bed with pains. My heart aches too. How do you live here? Fire's a rare herb, so usually it's bearable, but this year it's unbelievable plentiful. The elderly say that this is phenomenal. Nothing like this has happened before. They think it's bad omen. Well, I don't believe that, but the air is droning. Can't you feel it? Don't you feel dizzy? The air is heavy. You'll need to sleep often. Never go hungry. Drink more water. You'll need to look after yourself properly. If you feel sick, forget everything else and get some rest. Otherwise, you may die of a heart attack or bleeding. Be careful, all right? The more I think and do, the faster I die. That's symbolism if I ever saw it. All right, we're done talking. Goodbye. All right, I'm on my way. That bridge is too far. We want to go this way. What time is it? That's not even 8 a.m. Maybe this place will get a little more jumping. Can I still crash there? I think everybody that's my friend lets me use their house. Where was it? List of the bound, I believe. T. No, I think I might have to go find this Isidore guy then. And then he'll be my friend and let me sleep. I'm actually not sure where the inn is. Maybe he'll tell us. The red ones seem to be important. Aspides Hospice, Grace's Lodge, the Factory, Bad Grief's Lair, Rubens Prosectorium, Castle of the Soul and a Halves, the warehouse where the urchins under Chief and Merchant reside. The windows of this house are bricked in. That's the Cathedral, Town Theater, Town Hall, the shelter Lara Ravel's house, Sticky's house, and then he made it sound like the town is on the other side of the river, but it looks like like this is like the gut and the guzzle. Not another doctor? No, the bull, I'm guessing, would be a food shop. And then, unfortunately, the one tutorial guy said that, like, differing shops of the same type could fleece me. Hello? Ah, identical merchant. What do you got there for me? Some fresh meat? What an odd tooltip. Nobody knows where this came from. The situation in the abattoir is unknown. Its innards are closed off to common people. Enemy contact with the termitary is temporarily cut off, but this fresh meat is nutritious and tasty if cooked properly. This fish was caught today or yesterday. This indicates there's still live fish in the water, which inspires hope. Contains a lot of phosphorus and other useful nutrients. Some believe the consumption of fish stimulates the brain's nutrient. That's fucking expensive. $300 reduce? Vegetables. Preserved vegetables. The jars are, as you can see, not labeled. The warehouses the jars were packed together in crates, preventing a mix-up. But this is stolen goods. This jar could contain tomatoes, young onion bulbs, peppers, or beans. All are good for one's health in different measures. Dried meat. This meat was cooked 3 weeks ago. The risk of it being infected is negligible, but it still has the meat of a steppe animal. Large shipments of dried meat have been prepared for transportation to the regional center and await the arrival of the freight train at the beef warehouses. Egg. A fresh quail egg. Very nutritious, especially good for an organism weakened by a serious illness. Chickens and chicken eggs are becoming rare nowadays, so the townspeople are eating quail eggs. Bread. A piece of stale bread, hard as a rock, but no signs of mold. Unlikely to be dangerous, but rumor has it that it can be. Smoked meat. This meat was cooked a month ago. Very nutritious and filling. It's very popular among townsfolk and thus relatively hard to come by nowadays. It's the cheapest of the meats. It's $1.65. This is $3.30. Dried fish. The rivers provided quite a few unpleasant surprises recently. Could this indicate a mass dying off of fish? Hundreds of dead fish have washed up during the past week. The banks are covered in scales. This has made the people wary of eating fresh fish, and they now prefer preserved fish, like this one. Alright, well. Let's buy some snacks later. Hello, townsperson? What is the termitary? Two massive buildings in the eastern part of Earth. The termitary marks the district's border. Beyond that, there is only the abattoir, and then the steppe itself. People do not belong there. Why? Well, they just don't. It's not a people place. Well, someone has to work there. Some folk do. The steppe people, the butchers. That's way outside of your area of expertise, believe me. I have a feeling you're not much of a talker. Magic meat factory that I'm not allowed to go into. That's definitely on the level. I want to take a left here. There's some stairs. A lot of stonework. No wooden houses. No, I want to go back. I'm guessing, like, these lines are different elevations. Some good, tiered layout to the city. Kinda wish I could do that with Stinkenheim. Hello. My heart is crying for my poor children. How are my dears doing? Is everything alright? Oh, women shares his heart. Would you mind... a woman! Can you sew this? I never expected to see something like this in such a remote place. Everyone's tired of the endless construction work. We want some quiet. There's construction going on? Not a lot, but I cannot shrug away the feeling that the world is changing all too quickly. The rulers invite architects from the capital when they turn everything upside down. It's fun for the children, but a torment to us. It's a very tidy town. I haven't seen something like this for a long time. What the fuck kind of house is this? Is this house abandoned or like what? Oh yeah, that's on the level. Weird floating house with baby noises. Dear diary, get the fuck out of here. Now where am I going? There's a bridge there, but I see a shop here. So we've seen a doctor and a food shop, a clothing shop. Man, this guy gets around. He has some kerosene. What? Alright, maybe a general store. Oh, it's a scale. For a second, I thought it was like some sort of Fallout harpoon booby trap if I try to rob him. Man, I got turned around pretty good there. Not this way. It's a shame I can't sprint, but I guess the name of the game is time management, and if I sprinted, I would just get tired. I don't know why it keeps showing my money in the corner there. We're in the right district, so it's... pretty much turn left as soon as the road forks. These houses look a little stranger. I think that's him there. Yeah. No, wait. Hey there, identical townspeople. This should be his place. Oh, what the fuck? I got tricked, I gotta go around. Very, very nice map I was provided with. Who's this guy? I thought he was. Maybe I gotta get inside that fenced area. What? This is his house. Where's the fucking door? What in tarnation? Quite the adventure. What the hell's going on here? A foul murder occurred here this night. No unauthorized access allowed. Inspecting the crime scene is strictly forbidden until further notice. Oh, don't tell me it's fucking Isidore. You're not a local, sir, so you're unlikely to understand the loss we've suffered. Isidore Brock, a great surgeon, a benefactor to us all, and an all-around skilled doc. An outstanding man, beloved and well-respected by us locals. Does it really always have to take the very best? What a foul time to live in. I knew him. I'm a doctor, too. Whoever killed our only doc must surely be looking to get us all killed. Isidore could cure anything. He also knew how to make cuts or incisions, because he was a warden. He knew his lines all right. Like I said, it makes sense. Whoever killed Simon took Isidore's life, too. This is merely the beginning. What makes you so sure? See, this murderous deal is all mysterious. There was a talon stuck in the victim's chest. Go ahead. Bend your arm at the elbow, good sir. Yeah, like that. There you go. That's how long it was. It broke off. There was dust on the floor, for the deceased had been a renowned step walker. And the dust was all covered in hoof steps. Like traces of a sharp bone, I guess? As if someone was using a walking stick around there. But I'm telling you, it's her. The Shabnak Ader. The Clay Man-Eater. I'd like to inspect the building. We've been assigned to this post by Alexander. the head of the Saburov family. His house is in decline right now, but it's still powerful and very much respected. For it's they that's been responsible for maintaining worldly order and public safety in the town since olden days. Please kindly address your concerns to him. There's their rod. You just take that road up there and get up to the cave. As for me, I'm not authorized to let you in. Should have said so from the start, good sir. Now I need to get to here, the rod. Which, yeah, look at this fence bullshit. Look at that. I guess I pretty much go... Okay, bit of a journey. I don't think I can jump fences. Is that... You know, we'll worry about that later. We'll worry about that later. Is that 8 bells? 9 bells. The clock is ticking. I shouldn't have stopped at that clothing shop. I'm gonna stop at this clothing shop, though. Because I'm good with time. Hello. Here we go. Drapery. A piece of light fabric, a sheet, tablecloth, or cotton curtain, used for moving around in infected areas in order to prevent accidental tactile contact with infected particles and surfaces. As a single-use item, it's usually thrown away before entering a building. Huh. That's weird. A needle. Such needles may be of interest to children because local tradition prohibits them from owning any sharp objects. Hook, an ordinary fishing hook, can be significant value to children, and not only because it's sharp. A hook is a somewhat grim element of local children's superstitions connected with barrel issues. I don't know why there's a guy giving weird tool tips about kids. Oh, kids love this. We know all about you. Aren't you a lively gal? Shall we barter, perhaps? What's up? The soul and a halves got an opportunity to catch their breath. This is good, and everyone will have time to prepare. Otherwise, we'd have to mourn our boys, and the halves would be orphaned. The soul and a halves? It's just a catchy name. Notkin says because each of them has a familiar. A cat, a dog, a crow, or a grass snake. Half a soul more than a normal person, or a normal animal. Is that a game? Wait. Isn't soul splitting only reserved for your steppe abominations? Are you nuts? The Shabnak doesn't have a soul at all, although perhaps Notkin has finally done it. He used to make fun of the old legends, taunted the steppes, played spirits. Perhaps the Shabnak came to show him his place. What do they do, those soul and a halves of yours? It's a lifestyle that's larger than life. If you join the soul and a halves, you have to adopt a pet. As you raise it, you change. Then, when it's grown, it gets the other way around. Your half begins to take care of you. And so you're always together, bound forever. What if the animal dies? I don't know. No half has ever died before. What kind of a soul and a half are you if your familiar can die? They wouldn't take you in the first place, naturally. Well, an animal doesn't live that long. Oh, well, fuck you too. No, sorry, I guess we're going the same way. Sorry about that. Hey! Little dumpster diving. Call that trash and a half. There we go. It's a garbage looting kind of game. Keep your eyes peeled for garbage. This door seems gigantic.
The rabble is completely out of control. They must have been bottling up their lowly instincts for quite some time.
I finally get to see you. Yes, you really do look like a messenger of sorrowful times. In any case, welcome to the Rod. Our meeting is quite significant in a way. Facing the changes with open eyes and taking their first blow is my duty. Do you think we're on the verge of an unhappy era? No grim events have clouded our existence since last summer. The country has cured its war wounds, commercial communications have been repaired, astrologists expect nothing ill. Do you hold astrologist opinion in high regard? Are you an astrologist? I am a ruler. Astrology can be very curious, but I can't allow it to influence my decisions. I have to act according to factual circumstances. Would you agree? Oh, definitely.
This Haruspex is trying to prove his innocence. It's a no-go.
So you've come to meet with Simon, haven't you? What can I do for you? I was actually invited by Isidore, so I came to meet with him, and he's dead. He's been murdered, yes. Looks like the murderer is always one step ahead of you, doesn't it? The same one that took Simon's life, too. At least that's the conclusion suggested by the information at my disposal. Same pattern, same signature. Any traces? I haven't been there myself. I'm quite content with interrogating suspects, especially since we already know who we're after. You can join the hunt, by the way. I can describe his features. Who is it, then? You wouldn't believe it. His own son. The fellow came back after being away for quite a while. His father had sent him to study surgery when he was but a greenhorn. Quite a lot he's learned, huh? A wandering scholar turned evil to the bone. All that just to grab the inheritance. How'd you figure that out? In all honesty, it's hard to explain that to an outsider like you. Do you believe in such a thing as clairvoyance, Bachelor? No. Well, you should get to know my wife then, or better yet, those who've already had the opportunities to witness the power of her prophecies. Former doubters, first and foremost, rationalists. She's got something to say to you, too, by the way. Do you have rationalists in the town? There are very few good analysts in our town. Everyone's more or less superstitious here, except for one Yulia Lyricheva, perhaps. The most level-headed and reasonable person. The only person who remains skeptical about Katerina's talents, too. Without a shadow of a doubt, she has her own picture of events. She always does. Who is this Yulia? She came here with an engineering team when the town was being rebuilt. Did logistics, or maybe communications, not sure. They said she's a true expert in her field. Smart, yes, a polymath. Then the team left, but she stayed. She has my respect, but not my fondness. I'll have to go speak to Yulia. That's a nice house. No, I wanted to talk to your crazy wife.
Hurts. Can it be conscience?
Do you have any weapons? No, I've just finished distributing the remaining weapons to the patrolmen sent to the Bone Steak lot. Rumor has it something's brewing there. The rabble are trying to catch some man-eater all agog. But even if I had weapons, I wouldn't give any to you. Why in the world should I? Where can I get some weapons? No one in town owns real weapons. What little they have is old, refitted, makeshift, and mostly non-functional, too. I doubt anyone in the town would dare fire a shot without my permission. Nothing of the sort has happened in a few years. Your effort's commendable. Wait, what?
What has this town turned into? Truly a country of contradictions.
Who are the people guarding Isidore's house? They're volunteer patrolmen. We usually keep around 20 of them, but I've increased that number recently to 150 or so. Holy shit. There's unrest in the termitary. If I weren't certain that Isidore had been murdered by his son, I would even consider the crime to be politically motivated. Isidore was preparing to take over the kin and become its leader, or at least according to the information I have. What the hell are you talking about? The steppe people who work in the abattoir, many of the factory workmen. An ignorant patriarchal pile that hasn't changed much since the Stone Age. They look human enough, but if you look closer, they're just beasts. Believe me when I'm telling you that. I'm not snobbish in the slightest, but there's good reason to call them that. I see. I don't think you're aware of the fact that Isidore came to me last night, just after he had returned, and warned me that there were some ominous events ahead of us. I took that as an unofficial warning about this upcoming takeover. You took measures? Evidently. I've mobilized the patrols. I see what you're implying, Bachelor, but I'm not insane. Engineering Isidore's murder, as a matter of fact, a strong, independent kin under Isidore's rule would have been way more useful to me. Why? What's this? Is the cool art in the thumbnail from the game? To the best of my knowledge, it's official art of the game. If it's not, I'll need to change it. That would weaken the power of the Honorable Vladislav Olginsky, who's pocketed the economy of the whole town. He'd rather see the kin as a dumb and speechless herd. And come to think of it, well, I'm sure you understand where I'm going with this. I do. Anything else?
This Haruspex is trying to prove his innocence. It's a no-go.
What can I do for you? Why are you giving me that look as if I killed Simon? Okay, well, see ya. I don't know if I'm actually allowed to go in now. Talk to the wife. This is a mansion? Well, we can talk to Yulia, right? Yulia's our next lead. The Saburovs have been living here since the town was founded. Once a mighty, powerful clan, only has 2 persons now. A governor devoid of any real authority and his dying wife. So he's technically the governor, even though I think Simon was the founding father? Not now, little kid. So disapproving. Hello? Nice try, hobo. This is my treasure. Ooh. A watch? A fashionable trinket among the teenagers who like to show off to each other. That might come in handy. For bartering. We know children love to barter. For some reason. Across the river. Definitely some weird factions in this game they're introducing to us. The kin, which are like the, that rain doesn't look very clean. Wow, that's startling. What's wrong with you? Let's trade. Just look at this thing I've got. Where'd you get the fucking bullets, kid? What the fuck? Yeah, I got some shotgun shells. A shotgun shell is $2, but a flank of meat is $300. We must be in Russia. I'm leaving the town soon. Do you know the train schedule? Will you revive Grandpa? When the game starts again, I'll ask him to make me a hunter. Who are you going to hunt? If Grandpa shows you how to hunt right, you can even catch a star. But you can only keep it for a while, only while the game is on. What are you playing? It's autumn, so we're playing Underground Bonfire. Do you know the rules? I don't. Huh. Okay. I want to go up and then back down. Is it lunchtime yet? It's only 9 a.m. We're making good time. Is that a kid? I have heard so much about you. What's in your pockets? Presents? Uncle Bachelor, do you want to trade presents? Why not? Sure. Where'd you get those? Only $1. Man, I gotta find things the kids love to trade for. Apparently needles and hooks. These houses are all pretty roomy, even though I'm not allowed to steal their shit.
As the mind endeavors to reach one goal, the heart insensibly drags us towards another.
I seem to have lost any capacity for observation. My mind is out of tune. Things no longer add up. Before, I had no trouble forming a trustworthy tessellation out of the most imperceptible contingencies. Now I simply can't get my head around it. Could it be that I'm dying? The steppe air is way too thick. Oh no, Herba Virenaise and Blossom I grant you, but then it blossoms every year. Every year the steppe is filled with its stupefying vapors. The issue I'm having, however, has nothing to do with fatigue or perplexity. It's just that I've lost my ability to make distinctive events coincide. Everyone has that. You don't seem to understand what I'm saying. Let me elucidate. A single word someone utters may precipitate the birth of their own murderer. This line of philosophizing is barely an intellectual novelty, and it's particularly relevant in our neck of the woods. I sometimes feel like I could touch the notions of cause and effect with the tips of my fingers. But now I'm being tedious, I reckon. You are being a little tedious.
What?
You fucking heard me. You've traveled all the way here only to find that both people you wanted to see were brutally murdered. Is that how the story goes? I do hope that your visit is not in any way related to these most unfortunate circumstances. Soborov told me you have a gift for all manner of investigative inquiry. I'm certainly no better investigator than you. I never had a chance to search for a murderer before. The best I can do is offer to fill in the blanks with whatever mysterious supernatural entities seem most fitting. Shabnak Adir is the most simple man's scarecrow. I would have followed a different narrative. What kind of narrative? Consider the circumstances of his death. They said Simon locked himself up in the evening and consequently died in the morning inside the mansion in a chamber with some peculiar name. In that case, I'd suggest Simon was poisoned. The Kanes, I would have thought, but I know their family all too well. Their mutual loyalty is only rivaled by their arrogance towards anyone not one of them. They hold the princely sage who stands at the head of their family in the highest esteem. They believe that a single dishonorable act will tarnish their name for generations to come. I doubt any of them would have stooped to this, no matter whether they wanted to or not. Poison? I don't believe you understand what "he died in focus" really implies. Do you know what the Kanes refer to as the focus? You don't seem to grasp the semantics of the term. These are the Kanes for you. These kinds of innuendos are their forte. What is this focus? The focus is anything but an abstraction. Quite the opposite, in fact. It's governed by mathematically rigid regularities. You see, no one but the owner of a focus may get inside. This can only mean that Simon had brought the killer with him, or rather, within him, since no physical object may be brought into focus either. How do you know that? Who doesn't? The Kanes are notoriously passionate about all manner of synthetic anomalies. They'll never pass up the opportunity to devise a Kunststück that would allow them to warp space, challenge physics, or manipulate optics. Metaphysically, a focus can be compared to a camera obscura. Do note that the name is not unfitting. No, it's entirely impossible for someone to get inside. And also, you're not allowed to eat or drink, but that makes one suspect foul play in regard to Isidor's death. He had been stabbed, after all. Stab doesn't even begin to describe it. Stock Reuben told Lara that Isidore was slaughtered by some object resemblant of a humongous razor-sharp talon. What a riveting case. No wonder some people will start talking of step monsters made of assorted bones. Claw-like object? Such was the topography of the wound, according to Reuben. Neither Lara nor me are quite able to colloquialize a term like this. You should speak with him directly if you wish to know the details. Make haste if you want to get hold of him. Reuben is eager to join Simon as soon as possible. No pun intended. Where is Reuben? Mourning his master, I think. They were very close. Did you investigate Isodor's house? They won't let me in. Is that so? Well, this does introduce a different perspective. Did you say Isidore was the last person to see Simon? The question is, who did he see before? The sun had not yet set when Isidore returned from the steppe. However, he came to see Simon well after midnight. The question naturally arises, where did he spend the missing few hours? How did you know all that? I think you still fail to grasp the entirety of your predicament. Rumors spread like wildfire here. One of the children saw Isidore come home. They were waiting by the entrance, eager to hear a step story or two. So, this is all based on the story of a child? What, was Isidore seen with Sabrov by any chance? He was. He warned Sabrov of an upcoming storm. All right, let me suggest then that while he was in the steppe, he saw or learned something that he wanted to report to all three ruling families in this case. Either of the old Gimsky family should have been on his itinerary, especially since Barak was one of their own men. Really? Definitely. The Bull Project, from the abattoir to the railway, is controlled by the old Gimsky family. If Isidore's discovery had anything at all to do with the kin, Isidore would have certainly relayed it to Vlad. So do make sure to pay a visit to the Lump. That's the name of the old Gimsky mansion. Another fitting name, wouldn't you agree? Thank you, Yulia. What would I do without you? I'm going to step away here for a moment, and I believe time pauses when we're talking about main story stuff like this, so we'll hide in this conversation for a moment. Alright, so now, yep, they're sending us to send the last, I think it's the 3 families, the Kanes, the Ogimskis, and then the Sabarovs. There might be more prominent people in this town. And then I would just follow the river. The draw distance makes it a little hard to keep your bearings. Couple that with the fact that I very easily lose my bearings to begin with. I need about 90% less fucking attitude. That was weird. Did they take my money or something? There's like over 2 coin things. Is that town hall? It is. We might want to introduce ourselves or get some clues, but for now... Wait, how do I get in? Right there, okay. That, I think they're taking my money. 993. Oh, how ferocious Mother Nature is, for 'tis her wrath that has to be withstood. Oh, friend, if only I could wet my missile, I'd gladly give you anything on earth in exchange for a gulp of chilly spring water. How about we barter? You'll have your water, and I'll have bandages. Well, he doesn't have anything to give me. Eyes are a little yellow. Oh. Some treasure chests. A razor. We haven't found anybody that wants the razor yet, though. I thought the little kids would like it because they're supposedly not supposed to have sharp things. Okay, that was 3. 993. 996. I must just be finding pocket change as I walk around. That's the place. We just gotta go around because of the wall. That one's got a lot of kids in it. Get out of this fucking rain. Alright, that's that weird guy from the campfire. Get a special name. Whoa. It looked like a rich version of the shopkeeper.
No. I won't believe in some earthen killer.
Bachelor Dankovsky, of course. Who else could be so dapper? I've heard quite a lot about you. Have you taken a look around? Be sure to check the state of the industry around here. We have our own ways. How curious. What is the current state of your industry? Come now, it's a complicated establishment with 1,000 years of history. A special approach is required to control such a colossus. See where I'm getting at, emissary? But no, such business always leaves room for improvement. I can see we're not really seeing eye to eye. The project is special, very special. That means common standards do not apply here. That would be very naive. We'll come back to that.
Hard. It's hard.
Getting everything back on track won't be an easy task. I'm here to inquire about the fate of my colleague, Isidore Burak, about the manner of his death, to be precise. What are you implying? What is this manner you're talking about? Be so kind as to mind your own manners. I had nothing to do with it. Don't they say Isidore was murdered by a steppe demon, a Shabnak Ader? There was that thingy, a talon they fished out from the wound. I can take this from kids and weirdos, but you are a respectable negotiator. It's hard for you to believe, isn't it? It used to be hard for many. Take my boy, for example, a scoffer if I've ever seen one. And now even he believes it's real. He went off his head a bit. You're in the steppe now, esteemed sir, eastern and backwards. The dead rise from their graves here. Clay dummies dance and bulls talk. Does he know the steppe well? He rubs elbows with the rabble, the butchers, odongs, shepherds, and gatherers, learns their tongue, collects their legends. He doesn't keep them in check at all. They even dare to come visit him within the premises of the town. If you see a worm creeping through the streets, he's definitely looking for my son. What's wrong with them visiting within the premises of the town? They're dangerous, they're aggressive, and they hate everyone who isn't a steppe person. They'll jump you and kill you on the spot. They'll tear you up with their teeth and devour your flesh while you're still throwing fists at them. So if they're spotted within the town, countermeasures are taken. Could your son tell me about the creature? Hold your horses. You want to talk to my blockhead? No, you have nothing to talk about. He's not here, thankfully. I don't want you two to meet. You heard me? These are tradesmen's words, and I'll stick to them. I won't leave it at that. I said I won't leave it at that. What the fuck? To find out who killed the immortal Simon Kane, the dead man's own family may not want it more than I do. I have an abiding desire to punish the murderer, to eradicate them, no matter if they were acting on their own account or at the behest of the powers that be. Whoever they are, they picked the moment far too well. My gentle associate, my selfless advisor, Isidore Burak, was the last person to see Simon Kane alive. If it wasn't for Burak's guidance, I would have never come to this backwoods domain. Well, it's backwards, too. All the more reason to start my pursuit with him. Isidore Burak was murdered. The local authorities have sealed off his house. Alexander Saburov, the head of the Saburov family, is taking control of all proceedings regarding law and order in the town. The Saburovs are one of the three families that govern the town, and Alexander was the person to take immediate measures after the discovery of Isidore's body. If this Yulia Lurecheva is genuinely capable of rational thought, then she's more astute than the majority of her contemporaries in this town. There are those who would believe that if I'm unable to pinpoint the murder by nightfall, then I'm destined to become the next victim. If my encounter with death is so inevitable, then I should prepare myself for it. As ludicrous as it may be, the thought sends a chill down my spine. I'm following in Isidore's wake, certain that the trail of his footsteps will lead me to the Crucible. There's little doubt in my mind that Isidore was well acquainted with each and every family in power, but it was old Minsky that held Isidore's leash, a relationship rooted in unbreakable familial loyalty. It is with the old Gimskys that I must make my next destination. A cunning lot, aren't they? The older old Gimsky does his best to avoid any mention of his household. When I asked him what his son was doing, the honorable stock breeder momentarily lost his temper. I think the son knows just as much as the father. It'll be easier to get him talking, but where can I find him? Well, there's just a gigantic town. He's around here somewhere, I'm sure. It's one of those guys. Maybe that's people from the steppe look like that. Why so gloomy, Pumpkin? I want Grandpa to get better. Is Grandpa sick? My Grandpa's dead. Grandpa Simon is sick. No one plays with me now. The grown-ups never let us into their games. Neither do the boys. He really loved you little ones, didn't he? Why do you put it like that? He still loves us, and he always will, even the naughty ones. Sure. Of course, just a slip of the tongue. So I don't think I'm allowed inside the abattoir, but it sounds like that's where the sun works. Oh, what's this? Ah. I can take bottles of water from those to trade with thirsty hobos. I don't think so. Actually, Town Hall, maybe. Don't fucking start. Lunchtime's coming up. Diary sort of implies that if I can't solve this murder by nightfall, I'm dead. An empty bottle is required. There's one of those guys that love water. How about we barter? Okay, so things are worth different, but like a bottle of water is worth only 1 to him. So he wants 5. That's an insane amount. Because I need the bottles themselves. Greedy little shit. Garbage? Nah. Hello? What an odd building. Considering what it looks like on the outside. Well, let's think. Oh! When we left the house, that's when we saw that weird step guy, and he was probably running off to where the sun is. Shit. So I gotta go back and, I don't know, fucking... Well, they said things play out without me. That's not good. Tell me about Town Hall? It's the most useless place in the whole town, I'm telling you. The only thing it's good at is taking up space. It's the most prominent building in the backbone. Sinister. It's still useless. Why useless? Well, we're ruled by the rulers. There's no officials around here, no need for them. You want to know what's up there in the town hall? The post office and the jail, nothing more. It's fine. They'll finally repurpose the building someday. Turn it into a school, maybe. Whatever the facility, it'd still be a better use. A school instead of a jail? Great idea. Didn't occur to me that those guys are from the steppe. A lot of children. Don't mess with us. We know a thing or two about life. Let's barter, lad. I have curious things. This is 7 child bucks. And I will take all of your drugs. A wonderful deal. Enjoy your garbage. At 10 or 11? 11. Our murder investigation is stalling out. Am I not where I'm supposed to be? No, this is right. Hello?
Father has been avoiding me lately.
Look at all this. If only my dear mother was alive, she'd take the reins of power in her hands. Even father would listen to her, but who's to take care of us now? Not Katerina, that's for sure. The mistress is too exhausted. Katerina's supposed to take care of you? Katerina's scared like a child herself, and I also think she's being tricked. Yes, her prophecies come true just like it's always been, but they're becoming more and more noisy. Every word she utters comes across as a metaphor. Can she predict the future? She sees the vague features, and she always speaks the truth, just like a true mistress ought to. I can hardly believe that.
It's the same power that my dear mother used to glimmer with.
I have a terrible headache, but it will pass. Quinine can help if you have anything better. Okay, well, good talk.
Father has...
I'm sorry, is this just the house? Weird. Weird house layouts. This is where Papa Bear lives. That is a big fucking bed. I guess he's a big guy.
Hard. It's hard.
I think Simon died? I don't think he was murdered. How could he who craved monocracy not perish? He couldn't, not in this place. Balance requires equilibrium. So is... Simon's death worked in favor of the local hotshots? Come now, what I'm saying is, when someone takes too much upon themselves, they always end up ground down. That's how life works. There were signs of another worldly visitor that night, weren't there? Simon's lived a very long life. Very long. He was a worthy man, but long doesn't mean eternal, does it? No one's to blame for his death. Examine the body, you'll see for yourself. He won't. Cain will let me in. Well, that is temporary, a family tradition. He's not lying to you. He truly believes Simon was murdered. Were he to admit that Simon simply died of death, he'd probably go to his last home himself. The shock would be too much for the man. Georgie didn't seem sentimental. That's a weird end to the conversation.
No.
Isidore was here yesterday. So what if he did? I am also aware of what you two have been talking about. All I want to know is why he left to see Simon afterwards. Oh my, pray forgive me. So he wanted to bring me to heel, that traitor, that bastard. Well, what he asked for was for me to stop the factory. How could I not kick him out? What did he tell you? Who else could he have spoken to? Perhaps someone who could take measures? Of what kind? That, my dear and respectable friend, is none of your business. My property, like I said, is in order. See the skin and meat delivery reports. Do you know how hard? No way. It's my domain. Whether anyone riots or not. And I'll have my way with them. I see. You're the big guy here.
Many a mickle.
Alright, that did not help. We have to find that fella. And I don't think he was running this way. Or was he running from this way? Shit. Hello. There's one thing I have. It's Mirador. So this way goes towards the trains, and this way goes towards not. I'm gonna say it's this way. Check the factory and shit. Darn. That's a problem. Oh boy. Liquesectorium. Bad Grief Slayer. I don't think I want to be in here, actually. Take the bridge. I'll swing by the food shop here. If only to get out of the rain. Which will not fucking cease. Some hazelnuts, a tree nut. These nuts don't grow in our region, but are often found in the town because of the children's favorite game of nuts. It's rumored that there used to be a large stockpile of tree nuts in Warehouse 11, and Notkin's friends made off with 4 sacks. Can never be infected. Cracker, a piece of dried bread. Not very nutritious, but it can be stored for a long time. The town doesn't have a bakery. The townsfolk bake their own bread, while the dwellers of the termitory make unleavened cakes. Lately there hasn't been any fresh bread because of flour shortages. I see. Oh, it might be the, these beige ones are always shops. Yep, because that was the doctor's shop. Okay. It won't mark which ones they are, but we can see that it is a shop. The boiler room, though, these are all things. I am going to go inspect factory building number 4. That's fucking tall, actually. Quite the smokestack. Quite the fence in my way. A lot of water for just one tourniquet. If I had the bottles, it would be good, but... So I'm guessing they, like, just butcher steppe animals and then send that meat to the capital, and that's their economy? I am going to take the tracks in. A razor. Blocked. I'm here in official doctor business. Jesus Christ, lunchtime already. Not good. Not good at all. I won't be allowed in the abattoir. Let's just take the train tracks into the rail station. It's quite the embankment, Jesus Christ. get into these trains? No. I'm not even sure this is a passenger train station. This might just be for processing the meat and sending it on its way. Fucking weird looking, that's for sure. This incessant rain. Is that a different kind of water? No, it's just water. He's got bullets. He's one of those weird kids. You just helped me get around town. Tell me about Nina? What? When Nina died, everyone was terrified. No one could wrap their mind around it. It was truly and utterly unthinkable, and yet it happened. Dying's not really a common habit around here, you see. And so when Nina passed away, everyone started saying that a Shabnak came for her soul. Maybe a turnskin, a creature from beyond. What can you tell me about Nina herself? Nina Kana, Nina the sorceress, the most gorgeous woman I've ever seen. So wild and fierce and intimidating. Just one brief look at her walking down the street with or without her escort could make you weak in the knees. You could almost picture her upon a throne. She could cut you with a knife looking you in the eye, and no one would say a thing. Only a Shabnak could take that one. What is a Shabnak? A make-believe monster from the steppe, a bloodsucker of some sort. Just, you know, a revenant from beyond, or maybe a possessing demon. I don't really believe in such things. On the other hand, sometimes the things you see. Live here long enough and you'll get used to all kinds of weirdness. The steppes wiser than we are. Oh. Where the fuck am I? I'm over here. Yeah, I want to go to this weird boarded up house. Is that the governor? No.
Katerina thinks Claire is a messenger from heaven. Yeah, right.
Oh, I think this is the kid. You found me here. Oh well, I'm not surprised. I suppose you're not too surprised by the fact that everyone knows about you either. The rumor of your arrival spread like fire. Why have you come? I am here for sightseeing. There was a peculiar incident yesterday by the spleen. The children were playing in the mud as usual, but then suddenly they ran away from the sandbox, and the parents noticed that their hands were smothered in blood. However, none of them were wounded. Neither were any of them surprised. What? When the worried adults came to the place where the children had been playing, they found nothing unusual there, only sticks and stones. What do you make of it? Your children play fucking weird games. Nice to meet a person of a skeptical mind. I'm Vladislav Olgimsky, the younger one, of course. And you're, of course, Daniel Dankovsky. Yes, that's me.
There's this thing that needs to be done.
Bachelor, I have news for you that should prove to be of interest. You seem to be looking for the killer. I am. I'll have to briefly explain a few things to you. Have you already been told what the termitary is? I've heard about it, but I'd like you to describe it. It's a huge bunkhouse where the Bull Project workers live, although living is the wrong term for it. They nest. Their nesting is a commune with a rather simple way of life. It could, without reservation, be called savage. What is Bull Project? It's the whole industrial system of the town, from the abattoir to the goods station. Would you care to listen as to why I wanted to see you in the first place? Very much. Go on ahead. Let's get to the point. A case of pointless, aimless unrest has occurred in that hive mind's nest. The workers there are prone to lashing out from time to time like beasts frightened by a storm. They rage, they howl, they gnaw one another. An unsightly image of a mass uprising. What does that have to do with Simon's murder? Riots occurred in the termitary several times before. The mob goes crazy for a few days. Then they calm down just as unexpectedly, all of them at once. The sudden calm is just as void of reason as the unrest that had set them agog previously. Having a certain experience with the kid. We simply block the entrance to this zoo off until the riot defeats itself. What is this kin? The kin is, well, it doesn't matter. It's hard to explain. Their whole so-called society, the many-headed biology. Right, let's get back to the subject. We usually lock them up beforehand. The evidence of an upcoming outbreak of mass lunacy becomes obvious in advance, and the termitary's Father Superior informs us of it. But Father Tai Cheek has recently passed. A curious coincidence, don't you think? Mass anarchy. Anyway, a member of the kin managed to run off into the town while we were busy taking measures. You think he's the killer? I think you and I can help each other, Doctor. You're looking for the killer, and I'm sure it's a runaway butcher. The title of Half-Man suits him very nicely. The Canes claim that Simon had not been killed by a human hand, don't they? And our family doesn't need unnecessary unrest in the town. This butcher can babble devil knows what. His mind is most likely clouded with insane ideas. Why is your family so concerned about public order? Because it's the other family that handles it. Because we're rulers. It has nothing to do with charity, trust me. We're in charge of production, after all. If the unrest becomes serious, the factories will stop. The project will start failing, and we have contracts. We'd lose money. I'm surprised I have to explain this to you. Where do I look for this runaway butcher? He's most likely being harbored in a suspicious house. That's in the crude sprawl. Yes, my father's a man of rather hard-handed disposition and quick-tempered to boot. If he finds out the crude sprawl is concealing a fugitive, he'll make a mess. Pointless brutality serves no one. I'm looking for peace rather than blood, I'm telling you. Show me to the house. It's there. Okay. I don't know why you're hiding here. Very strange. That's his bed. So how am I gonna get there? Bit of a hike. People love throwing bottles away. Oh, two. Did I miss my turn? Oh, this kind of works. I need to... I've got to go up a floor. You okay there, champ? Yeah, that's just one of those guys that doesn't want to trade. I'd like to get this first day finished off tonight. I think that's a good start. We had a late start, so we won't be going too long, but... Doubly so, because I guess, what the fuck? He's beating up that lady. What are you doing? Time to do my duty. Leave her alone. I'm a gentleman and a scholar, of course. It's not going too well. 2 punches to the head. Alright, I win. That was maybe not a good choice. Hello. So here we are once again. No one's asking us. Got a smoke. Can you repair this device for me? What? Oh. He can. He can fix my, fix my scalpel. He's a factory worker. I want to say that because it made a baby crying noise, that was not good for my reputation, which is weird because he was trying to kill that lady. Some good-natured roughhousing, apparently. Best of luck, woman. Actually, how the fuck do I get there? I can slip between these two houses. So I need a lot of money, but I can fight people with my scalpel and then find a factory worker to repair it. These guys love water. And then shh, the housewives fix your armor. Where am I going? I'm in a dead end. I think it's that house I want. Man, what is with the fucking women in this town getting attacked? Very weird music. Locked. I don't have a torch or anything, do I?
Why is the termitary so loud? What are they celebrating?
Do you know where to find clean water around here? Fresh water must be plentiful. There's a river close by. All that water comes from the steppe, and it isn't exactly clean. Yesterday I inspected all the springs in the area. There seems to be no more clean water around. The salty taste is everywhere. It's reddish in color and there are disgusting clots in it. Where can I find clean water then? The townsfolk store clean water in homemade reservoirs. This modest supply should be enough to help us last a little while, but afterwards we'll have to drink that bloody mixture. Disgusting.
There's a hole under my heart.
What a weird frown. Oh, there's a runaway hiding here. Take me to him. Why would I? He's in danger. He is a butcher. He won't talk to you. You wouldn't understand him. He's been here for more than a day, but even I can't get him to talk. It's I who'd rather tell you something. What do you want to tell me? Big Vlad has plugged the termitary up for a reason. The butcher's mumbling is all over that place, but if you listen carefully, you'll make out tales of such horrors that I get shivers all over. Thousands of people have lost their minds all at once there. Many have died. Something's brewing inside. Can you lead the runaway out of town? Really? Why? Here he's entertaining me, and it's dangerous to go out into the steppe anyway. What if his pursuers rip me apart in the street? What if they think I'm a Shabnak native? What can you offer me in return for the service? Lead him out or he'll get killed. You can show me the door if you want, but thugs for hire will be less compliant. What do you want? I'll ask a small favor from you in 4 days. Don't worry, you won't have to cut your arm off. In 4 days I'll be in the capital. No, you won't. You'll either be 6 feet under or here with us. Well, if you do get to the capital. Consider my request canceled. Deal? I don't know. Yeah, we'll go with the deal. Fine, I'll take care of the butcher. He'll disappear, considering him non-existent, but now you must leave. Don't try watching the door, you won't see anything anyway. And tell the old Gimski's thick-headed bloodhounds that they have no business here. I harbor no killers. I want to take care of the man personally. Go then. The butcher's in the hospice, the entrance at the other side of the house. Don't come back here complaining afterwards, though. I'll deal with it. It might be better for her to do it, but she made it sound weird, like she was just gonna kill him. And I don't know what she's gonna ask of me in 4 days. Oh! I thought you were gonna be one of those weird guys with the wacky head. Do you even understand me? Ho! What's it? X or... Oh, no. Okay, first we'll load. And then I'll equip the scalpel and go in. And go about my grim business. Because we have to learn how to fight sooner or later. Blah. Actually, I killed that guy in 2 punches. Maybe I can handle this guy. It's locked. Oh, because I saved it before I talked to her. What are the fucking controls for equipping things? Sheath is X, but how do I equip it? There we go.
Why is the termitary so loud? What are they celebrating?
Do you know where I can clean water? You're one of the locals. And so I know where to find water. I'm just curious if you do. What's wrong with running water? All the water comes from the steppe.
What's wrong with my...
Was it Vlad the Younger that dropped you a hint about a killer hiding here? That little spider. He simply respects his father and doesn't want to do the dirty linen of his... Dirty linen? Big Vlad plugged... how'd they die? Don't know. Can't tell. The butcher will tell me. Are you sure? Have you forgotten that he's crazed? If you think he'll communicate with you, you're mistaken. They aren't great talkers anyway. They can only growl, howl, and bawl if they're under a spell. I'm not gonna fight. Yeah, I guess, because he might calm down later, and then he could come back and testify or something. Lead him out of here. What do you want? Small favor, I will. Consider him non-existent. Deal. What do we got here? The younger old Gimski exhibits a genuinely traditional kind of filial piety, or is he pursuing some projects of his own? One way or another, he's determined to get rid of the beast-like troublemaker. I wonder what the creature, whose death has no legal consequences, looks like. Killing people serves no purpose, even if it's requested by someone who belongs to a family in power. Where can I find him? So I need to figure out the most fruitful approach. Up. So now we should be able to go tell him. I either tell the younger brother or I tell the dad. And then they might put in a good word for me. And I can go look at Eastor's body. Maybe. That's the termitary. Man, what the fuck is it with these guys beating up women? Am I just in the rough part of town? I really don't like the connotations of what's going on over there. Just 5 dudes chasing a lady down the street. I'm pretty fucking lost here. My God. Can I loot these or these for show? They're for show.
So
He doesn't even care. But I might get a favor from the younger son. If we let him know that guy's been taken care of. Did I go the wrong way? kind of. No. Go that way, cut south through the park. Fuck, I went the wrong way. I have a lot of water. Where am I? The house is right there. What do you got here? Kind of weird looking. It's nice to be out of the rain.
Who lives without folly is not so wise as he thinks.
Now tell me, did Isidore visit you last night? Tell me the truth, please. He did pay me a visit, but don't ask what we talked about. I have no right to share that with you. That's because that would make you betray your father, isn't it? Yes. It seems better to put the cards on the table with you. You coming across as a very smart person. You've talked to my father already. What do you know? All I want to know is where you come into play. Isidore said, note that I'm merely retelling it secondhand. He said there's an epidemic in the steppe camps, an outbreak of Tarbagan sickness, perhaps, the plague, that is. Father had issued an order to lock the termitary up to prevent the infection from getting in. And what are you so afraid of that you would conceal this? I don't understand. You did the right thing. There's an underlying sensitive family member here. To cut a long story short, my father would kill me if he had found out about this conversation. The unrest in the termitary, you see, well, I incited it to make father lock it up. He didn't believe Isidore. Okay. What do you think was the cause of Simon Kane's death? We need to warn Reuben. It's very urgent. He's about to examine Simon as soon as the period of time required by the Kanes passes. But where is he? I have no idea. Where is he staying? I don't know. There was a secret dissecting room in one of the warehouses, but no one knows where exactly. He used to live mostly in the steppe, sometimes sleeping in the termitary or at Lara Ravel's shelter. But he's not there. I know that for sure. He went away to mourn his master. What would you have done if you were him? Well, I mean, I'd go to the Kanes, because that's where the body is. He has to perform the autopsy. As long as we stop the autopsy.
What?
What do you think about Simon's death? It's known that Simon had limited his social activity just before his departure. He only received 2 visitors. I know nothing of the first. The second was none other than Isidore Burak. The fact that he was killed the same night makes you think, doesn't it? The killer took out a witness? Or an accomplice. Isidore was a complicated man. Have I told you about his position in the kin? He used to be a very well-respected person there, and I can't say everyone liked him. Why would a doctor kill someone? Isidore wasn't a doctor, he was more of an herbalist. He never studied medicine. All his recipes were about plants and roots, so to speak. He was knowledgeable, true, a sorcerer, if you will, but a very different one from Simon. An earthen sorcerer. I've never heard that Simon used to be a sorcerer. Simon was a theurgist. Isidore was a witch doctor. And you think the witch doctors managed to achieve the unachievable? So my theory is that he's gone to the Kane's house, but there was also like a flop house that he sleeps at. This Reuben character. Isidore's apprentice, I believe, is his relation. So I want to bridge to the west here. Grab some water. For trading. And possibly drinking. That I don't know, friar-looking lady implied that the river water's poisonous and that the springs have dried up. Maybe I don't want to trade it. I might need it for my own needs, specifically. Helps with my exhaustion. Or is it the other way? Or is drinking the water making me thirsty? Or sorry, sleepy? I'm not sure. Think I can cut around this courtyard to get to the bridge? No, there's some very thick foliage stopping me. Uh-oh. There's a bridge to the south, that works. It's fucking rain, though. It's been raining all morning. Get out of the way, Oliver Twist. Maybe she'll have something to comment on. This may also just be my house, effectively. I'm not sure, because there's a microscope upstairs.
I had a feeling you would.
Gotta go. Oh, good, you're back. Yeah, bye. No time to talk. Have we spoken before? Are you Reuben?
Master would have approved of my actions.
Greetings, friend. I heard news of your arrival. Everyone has. Are you here to examine the body as well? I do hope you haven't touched it yet. I haven't. Is there a problem? I suspect he's died of a contagious disease. There's threat of an epidemic. The crucible needs to be quarantined. Are you sure? Well, it doesn't matter anyway. If it's that thing again. What do you think it is? Judging from what I've found so far, it could be the plague. I don't believe it. A second outbreak? Wait a second. I need to regain my senses. Are you sure about this? Do you mean what you say? I am and I do. Why are you so scared? If it's the sand plague, Master's death was so untimely. If it's the sand plague, we only have a few more days to live. You see, I have no idea how to stop it. No one does. Your mentor encountered the sand plague before? I'm only making assumptions. I don't want to believe this. I'd rather have any other plague than this. We have no time to waste. The body must be inspected and isolated, destroyed if necessary. We must take protective measures for that, of course. We need your diagnosis before we can provide reasonable protection. At the moment, you can only buy yellow immunity boosters at the drugstores. They're no good. I'll try to do something about this. We'll need to take some remedies from Master's old workplace. Did you know he was murdered by his son? An atrocity. His son has nothing to do with this. I wonder if his son is the other playable character. The Horsebacks? What kind of remedies do you speak of? You're unlikely to take them seriously. Let's call it folk medicine, herbs, Eastern recipes, traditional step cures, but it works. Master used them during the first outbreak, and he survived, at least. When was this first outbreak? 5 years ago, I see. Why are your drugstores in such an appalling state, then? They deliver medicine from the regional center, but there hasn't been a regular train for quite some time. Do you know anything about this, by the way? Perhaps people have some medicine stored at home, but then it's not like we can take it from them. And the stockpiles are empty. Okay, we have another concern at hand now. I'll check your drugstores. As for you, please follow your plan. You're right. Let's make haste. I'll get everything ready for the examination. Meanwhile, let's arrange for the body to be isolated. Kane is keeping it in a cold place. I'll keep you informed. If we act deliberately and with calm mind, we can prevent this epidemic. Stay strong. I won't leave you on your own.
Perhaps old Gimsky is setting a trap for this newly arrived Haruspects.
There's no need to worry, apparently. What, I gotta go buy, like, some fancy new gloves to touch the body? Maybe some drugs? Who's this? Young lady. A little too fly for this part of town. At least there's not 5 men chasing you. Well, that's... Now there's 2 of you. I don't know how I feel about that. Came out of fucking nowhere. Haven't seen them all day. Maybe they just... Now, why is this exhaustion bar so full? Is the water making me tired? I might need to sleep. What was the point of drinking the water? He said the implication was that the yellow's not going to work. We've identified the killer, although we've yet to apprehend him. Reuben will collect the necessary equipment to protect him as he works with the bodies. In the meantime, I should inform Georgia Kane. Okay, he made it sound like I had to go buy my own drugs. Rain stopped at least.
I feel almost nothing.
I have been told of your initial verdict. You assert that Simon Kane was not killed by a human or Shabnak demon, but died of natural cause, or succumbed to some kind of physical sickness. Is that what you're saying? He died of a mysterious disease. Microbes are far more efficient killers than demons. Is that a hypothesis or a fact supported by evidence? It's a hypothesis. Mere hypotheses is not something I'm willing to accept. Furthermore, the same rhetoric is widely employed by people who want to hinder the murder investigation at any cost. The same people are spreading false rumors of civil disorder, which, as they would have it, took over the town. The same people would happily sacrifice human life to maintain a semblance of order. What would you say to that? I'd say that order must be restored. And I would rather say otherwise. This whole narrative is much too convenient for those covering for the murderer. The murderer who knew how to take Simon's life and keeps that secret to themselves. What if they do not stop at that? Where's the body now? No one has touched the body since his death. The tradition kept in our family forbids us from seeing the dead until a certain time has passed. The required period of time will last until tomorrow, but I will not stop looking for the killer until you're able to convince me that your assumptions are true. If he was infected, then how did it happen? Next thing you'll tell me, it was Isidore that brought the disease into our family home. Even if he was deliberately infected by some supernatural entity, I need to make sure I'm right. Venerable Bachelor, do you take me for some willful old fool who's burdened you out of spite with the complicated solution of a simple problem? Or perhaps you think I'm covering somebody else's sins, getting in the way of you doing your duty? Is the body truly isolated as reliably as you say? The body is in the focus of the crucible. You cannot examine it now, and I mean that it is technically impossible. No one may see the body before a certain period of time passes. Neither Master Reuben nor you, my dear Bachelor, not even myself. And what am I supposed to do then? What can I ask of you now? You've come to a conclusion already, have you not? If you haven't, then I urge you to seek out the facts as relentlessly as we do. May Providence help us if you're right. All right, let us wait for that period of time to pass. It seems that I just need to sleep. And then, what the fuck is this?
I have a heartache.
The initial findings suggest that Simon Kane was killed by a highly contagious disease. It seems I will not be the first to meet the killer. Dr. Reuben has better chances at that. I just cannot help but think that were Katerina's prophecy to come true, it would have made the situation even more convoluted than it already is. Oh, yeah, we didn't talk to her because we went with the engineers instead for our help. So presumably something's going to come. What a fucking spooky looking bridge. Something's going to play out if I sleep until tomorrow. Yeah, you know what? Fuck that. I'm supposedly quite tired. Unfortunately, it's only lunchtime. Nope, actually, it's getting a little late. Getting close to supper. But I think I will head back to our little headquarters we have in that woman's house. Call it a night, and we'll continue to investigate next time. Well, I think the murder mystery's over. I think now we have to deal with the plague, which is the premise of the game, I believe, it being pathological. These weird new women have appeared. Now that it's the afternoon. Holy shit! What is with this town? I hate women! Oh, hey, that guy's gone. Who apparently was not from the steppe. Or maybe he's another kind of creature from the steppe. An interesting game so far, but things really haven't taken off yet. So we will have to see if they speed up for next time and start to take off.
I had a feeling you would come.
Are you ever going to put shoes on? Like, you've been here all day. So I have a little bit of a laboratory up here. There's nothing for me to inspect. Presumably, maybe I could take something from Simon Kane's body and check it for signs of the plague. But we're here in my little bed, and with that, we'll call it a night. I can only imagine what sort of wacky adventures we'll get into next time. But thanks for coming out to watch tonight, and I'll see you next time with some more Pathologic. Until then.